proclamation made by the city of Selah, basically saying thanks but no thanks, Governor Inslee. You don't have the authority to override what we do here in our municipality, and so we're going to do our own thing. We heard from Prosecutor Joe Brusick on that. We shared a bit of the proclamation, and now we hear from Selah itself. Yes?
That's right. Yeah. Apparently, on the phone this morning, we have the Selah City Administrator, Mr. Don Wayman. Good morning, Don. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Morning, guys. How are you all today?
Very well.
Good, Don. Thanks for being here.
Hey, no problems. There's a few things that just really got misconstrued from the very get-go.
Good. Tell us. Yeah, good.
As per the norm, the Yakima Herald got a lot of it wrong. Starting with the resolution that the council passed 2 weeks ago. That resolution allowed restaurants that had the footprint outside of their restaurants in a parking lot, which is usually restricted because we require parking spaces for restaurants and other businesses. So we temporarily suspended that requirement until September 30th. It sunsets on September 30th to allow them to, wait for it, prepare for the governor to loosen the restrictions.
Good.
We did not open up the city for business, for restaurant business. That just got misconstrued, and I don't know if they willfully paid no attention to that at the Herald or if it was just a mistake.
Don, I just want to say we're not saying that.
I know that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I was listening to you guys this morning.
Right.
So, but the Herald got that wrong, and hopefully Mr. Brusick understands that clearly. In addition to this, Sherry, Mayor Raymond, never in her proclamation exhorted or advocated any type of pushback by the citizens or anybody else against the governor's orders. She simply questioned his methodology, questioned the constitutionality, and she furthermore said the city staff and the police that work under her supervision, under her guidance, will not respond to those emergency orders that were put out since the Proclamation 20-5. So, and she's well within her authority to do all of those things. And, Mr. Brusick, I believe, set up a straw man argument. He's arguing that Mayor Raymond advocated some sort of defiance. She's not. She's simply saying, hey, we're not going to enforce this. And let's be honest, guys. We're being honest. We're telling everybody what we're doing out front. Now, I would ask Mr. Brusick, how many people has he prosecuted for failing to follow the emergency proclamations? And also our vaunted health department. Have they once cited anybody for this? No, they haven't. They've been giving guidance. So they're using their discretion as well.
Yeah.
We're simply being honest about it and being upfront. And last time I heard, we here in Selah aren't serfs to Lord Inslee. We can criticize him. We can get out there and say what we want to say.
Yeah.
This emergency proclamation doesn't protect the governor from criticism. And the letter that Mr. Brusick put out made it, and we'll set up our own straw man argument. Hey, are you telling us we can't, criticize the governor during an emergency? That didn't make sense. So that's where we're coming from.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, Don, let me just share a line from this, which I'm sure you already know, but the governor does not have the legal authority to force Selah's municipal employees, including its police officer, to take action against anyone.
That's correct. And we firmly believe that. We believe that's founded in law, in state law. Our attorney disagrees.
Okay, so that's what we have, though. We have I read RCW 43.06.220 differently than you read that same statute,
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
Okay, so then when it's my lawyer says, your lawyer says, how do you settle that? I mean, you'll wind up fighting it out in court if he decides to take action, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, we're going to attempt to have a discussion with Mr. Brusick. We were surprised that a letter came out from him that was apparently read by the Yakima Herald before the mayor was able to read it. But we'll respond to that, to Mr. Brusick, and we'll try to plumb what his thinking is on this. and come to a conclusion that is both legal and amicable. We don't want to split with the county at all on this. We believe that the mayor had the absolute right to do what she did with regard to putting out a proclamation, and we'll have a discussion with Mr. Brusick if he wants to have it. But it's not going to be a one-way conversation from him to the city of Selah. We're going to listen to what he has to say if he takes the time to talk to us, and we'll act accordingly. Now we've got an excellent attorney out here, Rob Case. He understands the situation. We'll be talking to him this morning, and we're going to have a talk with our council tomorrow. We have a council meeting where I fully expect a motion to support the mayor's proclamation.
Yeah, I was just going to say, are they going to? So at this point, there's no plan to reconsider or repeal the proclamation. At least not at 8:45 on a Monday morning.
That's correct.
Right on.
That's
okay.
correct.
Okay.
Now
Excellent.
we'll remind everybody that the governor is not. He's not protected from criticism from either appointed officials or elected officials in the state. He still has to answer to the people,
right on.
And that's what the mayor's saying.
Don, I think you're going to have some people moving to your city this week.
Well, look, I hate to be the devil's advocate, but I'll play the middle guy.
Sure.
Those wishing to operate or patronize a business, to conduct or attend religious services, to use park facilities or take action that was lawful prior to this proclamation will not be harassed, investigated, or punished.
Correct.
Okay, so basically you're saying we are standing down. From your perspective, that's your right to do it. I'm sure that's what a lot of your residents want to hear. In fact, that'd be my next question: is how is this something that you and Sherry and others came to from your own testing the winds, or were you bombarded from the public, or how?
Yes. Well, of course we're listening to our residents, and they're loud and clear. The vast majority of our residents that are calling in, that are writing to us, are telling us, "Hey, this has gone far enough."
Gotcha.
We've also had the occasional phone call. "Hey, there's kids playing on the jungle gyms. Go get them." And the last thing we want to do is send one of our police out to shoo a bunch of, chase children around because they were on a gym. Now we've taped off our equipment, but we're not the Stasi, and we don't want informants in Selah thinking that they're going to call us to show up and lower the boom. We're not peeking into the back of nail salons that happen to be shuttered. We're moving along. We're enforcing the RCWs and the codes that were in effect before the emergency proclamation. We're not going to frighten and intimidate our residents. It's simply not going to happen.
Little Johnny, come here. Let me see your papers. Right. Get off the schwing. Get over here.
Well, good job. Good job. Thanks for your time, Don.
I tell you, Don, it's a bold move, but I'll tell you what, it's a move that I'll bet communities all on this side of the state would love to see their leadership do. I got to try to probe for all this information. I mean, you said you're going to abide by all the RCWs that were in place, but you're going to run a different interpretation on 4306-2020. I get that.
And we know we're going to catch a blizzard of criticism from from the organized left-wing mob, and I feel so bad for the mayor, because she's a brave lady. She's doing a great job, and she has the best interest of the people of Selah in her mind. She is one of the most unselfish people I have ever known.